Hello and welcome. Now I'd like to do a state of the collection video because I've got quite a few watches, about 12 of them, and I mean serious watches. By serious I mean that, Seiko, Orient, Citizen, most of them mechanical, some quartz, and I want to dramatically change my collection. So before I do that, I want to document the current state of the collection. So this is my Seiko SKX007. This is the one that started my collection. I got it about 2 years ago for 330 euros. Even then the SKX prices were crazy. Now they are even more crazy, but yeah, this was my first real serious watch and it's still one of my favorites. I just like it so much. I really like the size, the case. I like the hour markers, the handset, the loom is awesome. I like the bezel, I like the crown, I like the day and date complication, and I really like the case back. So this is the K2 version, so it came with the Seiko Jubilee bracelet, which I like a lot, but I replaced it with the strap code Angus Jubilee, which is a very big heavy bracelet with very thick links. But I also like the original Seiko Jubilee bracelet. Yeah, so this is still one of my favorites. I just like this watch so much. It's just so clean, so simple. It's, yeah, fantastic. I'm not going to get rid of this one because this is a kind of a special watch for me. This was my first real serious watch. This started the collection and I really like it. Okay, the second one is the Orient Triton, and quite funnily, the Triton was cheaper than the SKX. And oh my god, how much better is the Triton. So the Triton has a sapphire crystal, beautiful applied indexes, power reserve indicator, it's also a certified diver, drilled lock hole, signed crown, a beautiful case back, and the loom is also awesome. So the SKX and the Triton, they have the best loom in my entire collection. Yeah, so yeah, the SKX has a pretty old movement. It doesn't hack, doesn't hand wind. The Orient Triton has hacking, hand winding, sapphire crystal, and still it was cheaper than the SKX. So just imagine that. Okay, then let's see the third one I got, which was the Citizen NY0040. I really like it because of the rich history. This was used by the Italian Navy at some point in time, and this is a very beautiful watch. If we just compare it with the SKX is, of course, the SKX has also got a ton of history, Seiko history, and that's what also I like about it a lot. But these watches really have serious history behind them. Okay, but you see, the Citizen Promaster is just so much more dressy. It's also a certified diver, but it's a very dressy diver. And it's also smaller. The lock-to-lock distance isn't smaller than that of the SKX, but the diameter and the watch face is smaller, and the Citizen wears, really, this wears the smallest of all my divers. The Triton is the biggest of all my divers, except for the Arnie, but it's gonna come later. Okay, so it's a fantastic watch. Only downside is the loom. The loom is very weak compared to the SKX and all the other divers, but it's a beautiful, nice watch, and I like the this deep black gloss dial. It's fantastic. Okay, the next one was, which one was the next one? Yeah, the Flighty. the Seiko Flighty. This watch is beautiful, and it's got some very nice functionality. It's 200 meter water resistance, so it's got a screw down crown. These screws secure the pushers, and obviously it's got the chronograph, and this small dial here can be used to set an alarm or a second time zone. So it's got very nice functionality. The loom is very nice. It's Seiko loom. So even though the loomed areas are pretty small, but the loom is bright. And you know, it's a flight watch. You can use this bezel to do calculations, which I'm not interested in. So the dial is very busy, and it's not very easy to tell the time, you know, exactly down to the minute, just at a glance. And actually that's why I don't really use it. It's also got a domed hardlex crystal, which this crystal isn't scratched, so it's perfect. It's in perfect condition, but because the crystal sticks out and it's hardlex, it's not sapphire, it's very prone to scratching. But yeah, I like how it looks, but I didn't wear this watch really. I wore it like really rarely. So this is one of the watches that is gonna go. I'm gonna sell this one. It's, you know, it's beautiful, it's fantastic, but I don't want to keep watches, and I don't want to accumulate watches that I don't really use. I want to keep watches that I actually wear. Okay, what was the next one? Next one was this one here, the SKX009. I got it quite recently from Creation Watches, and I always wanted an SKX009 because I wasn't really satisfied with my 007, because I thought, oh, it's too black and white, it's not colorful enough. And I got the 009, and it's beautiful, it's fantastic, but I realized I don't want to have two SKXs, because these have the same old movement, you know, no hacking, no hand winding, and the alignment on this 009 is perfect. So the hour markers, bezel, chaptering, everything lines up, but you see the date is shifted upwards, it's off center, and yeah, what can you say, Seiko? Okay, so I didn't wear it much. I wore it more than the Flighty, even though it's a more recent purchase, but I didn't really wear it because, I mean, I wore it, but not as much as I thought I would. And I am going to get rid of this one, because I don't want to have two SKXs, you know. One is enough, and the 007 is the one which has the, like this status, starting the collection and the first real serious watch. So yeah, the 009 has to go and the 007 stays. The next one is the SNZG13. This is also a made in Japan version, and it's got the see-through case back. It's got nice loom. It's a very nice watch, but again, I haven't really been wearing it. I wore it just a couple of times for a short time, and the thing is that the lug to lug distance is pretty big. I think it's 49 or 50, no, rather 50 millimeters, and it's just a little bit too big for my wrist. Really, the perfect size for me is the SKX. The SKX is just the perfect size, and something else, but I'm gonna get to it. So yeah, I'm not really wearing it, so it's gonna go. The next SNK, it's on a Barton strap, The flight is also on a Barton strap, because the original bracelet only has 2 micro adjustment holes, and just not enough for me. Okay, so the SNK is a very small watch. Just compare it to the SKX. Very small watch, and it's the cheapest. I think I got it for 80 or 90 euros from Creation Watches. I don't wear it much. Actually, I don't really wear it, but I just like so much how it looks, and it's just so cheap. I'm not gonna sell it. It's also got the see-through case back. I don't want to take it off now, but it's got a see-through case back. Old movement. I like the old Seiko 5 logo, and I like that the hours are inside, the minutes are outside. So it's a very unique looking watch face, and I like it a lot. Okay, then comes the Arnie. The Arnie with the Watchnian metal shroud. And it's a very, very cool looking watch. It's a very tough looking watch, especially with the metal shroud. It's amazing, fantastic functionality. But first of all, it's a bit too big for me. Again, the lug-to-lug distance is, I think, 51 millimeters. It's very tall, which isn't a problem for me, but it's just the lug-to-lug distance. It's just too big for my taste. And also, I really thought that I was going to love the Arnie. And at first I was like, oh, it's just so cool, it looks so nice. And as I was wearing it, I realized I don't actually like it, because of this analog digital display. You see the hands are very short. Also the hour markers are small. So the analog watch face is really small and cramped. And the digital display is also small. I have no problem reading it, but it's small. And yeah, it's not very easy to tell the time down to the exact minute, just when you look at the analog watch face, because the hand is very far away from the chapter ring and from the bezel. So that's why I'm selling this watch. It's got a ton of history. It's an Arnie reissue with solar quartz, but yeah, it has to go, because I don't really wear it. I don't really like it as much as I thought I would. Okay, what is the next one? Let me think. This one here. This one actually came before the Arnie and the SNZG. So this is the Seiko Solar Tuna, the Paddy Tuna, and it's a fantastic little watch. It's got the Yoboki's metal shroud and the strap code Super Jubilee bracelet. And like this, it's a fantastic watch. I really like how short the lug-to-lug distance is. So it wears really small. It's not too tall. It's a very, very nice little watch, and it's quartz. It's accurate. By the way, the Flighty, this is my most accurate quartz watch. It's not losing time, it's not gaining time for many months. So amazing how accurate the Flighty is. This is the most accurate one. After the Flighty, this is the second most accurate. And now comes the other one, the what's the name? SNE. By the way, this one is the Tuna, Solar Tuna is the SNE499, and this one here is the SNE435, I think. And these share the same movement. I mean, they have the same movement, and they are very accurate. And the Arnie is the least accurate. Okay, so this one here is also a big watch. It's not tall because it's quartz, but the lug-to-lug distance is 50, or between 49 and 50 millimeters. So it's like almost as big as the Arnie, and as big as the Triton. The Triton is also 50, I think 50 millimeters lug to lug. Yeah, 50. This one is also 50. The Arnie is, I think, 51. So it's a big watch, but it's just beautiful. The alignment is perfect. You see the second hand perfectly hits the markers, which is really rare, I think. The Solar Tuna is, you see the second hand, it's not exactly hitting the markers, it just hits just a little bit to the right, you see. But this one is hitting the marks exactly. And I also like the Cyclops. And I like, yeah, I really like that these are quartz. These are just so beautiful watches. And they are quartz, you know, I don't have to worry about if they are stopped, if they are running low, I mean slow, they are running fast. They are just, you know, pick up and go. And I really like quartz. I have quite a few automatics. There is one more amazing watch. This is the Orient Kamasu, the red dial, and it's amazing. I got it for under 200 euros from Amazon, and it's got a sapphire crystal, modern movement, hacking hand winding, perfect alignment. Maybe a bezel is a little bit, just a little bit misaligned, but it's perfect enough. Day and date window, perfect alignment, and this red dial is just fun. It's just so beautiful. It's beautiful in low light, it's beautiful in direct light, it's always beautiful. And it's got sapphire crystal. The bezel is much better than that of the Ray 2. So it's really a much better watch than the Ray 2. Yeah. Of course the blue Ray 2 is, I think, the most beautiful blue watch, but actually I had the Ray 2, but I returned it to Amazon because I only wanted to keep one. So I once I returned the Kamasu, and then I repurchased it because I just found it too beautiful, especially with the sapphire crystal. And the hour markers, the handset is so nice. Yeah. Okay, what else do I have? Let me check. Yeah, that was it. So kind of, yeah, let's see which watches am I gonna keep, at least for now. The watches I'm gonna keep, at least for now, are these. So the SKX, the Triton, the two Paddy Solar, and the Kamasu. Yeah, and the SNK, but it's so cheap I don't really count it. Yeah. And I'm gonna sell all the other watches, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 watches. And so what I'm gonna keep is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the reason is that I really have too many automatic watches, and too many watches just overall. And you know, some people, or there are people who like to have many watches, even many automatic watches, but I don't like it. It's just too much for me. Because if you have automatic watches and you don't wear them, you know, they stop, and then when you want to pick them up, you have to set the time, the day, or day and date, and then you have to be aware if they are slow or you know, they are fast. So automatic watches are just not accurate enough. I really appreciate the automatic movement, and I find it cool that you have something on your wrist, a wristwatch which has absolutely no electronics. It's a mechanical masterpiece. I mean, even an SKX. The movement is inside of an SKX. Even this is a mechanical masterpiece. so that the watch runs relatively, I mean relatively accurate. How should I put it? That you have a wristwatch in this size which runs not too inaccurate, without any electrical parts, just mechanical parts. It's just amazing. And I really appreciate it, but too many automatics isn't for me. Because I really don't want to worry about my watches being stopped, being slow, being fast. Then, for example, the Kamasu here, when I wear it, it's like it's spot on. It's 0 seconds per day. When I don't wear it, it loses a few seconds per day. Yeah, I just don't want to deal with it anymore. And then other watches are consistently slow, others are consistently fast. Then you have to regulate them if you don't like it. I regulated the 007. It was very, very slow. Now it's a little bit fast, but I just don't want to deal with this thing anymore. So I just want to have really quartz watches, and at the end I really want to have maximum 6 watches, but 4, yeah, better 4, because I have this watch box for 6 watches. I bought it in the beginning when I started to collect watches, and I didn't want to have more, but I ended up with 12. And yeah, and also if I have too many watches, I just cannot wear them all. I want to have like 4 or at most 6 watches in my rotation that I wear, and then I can spend enough time with each. And also, I really want to, the other reason I want to sell most of my collection is that I want to buy a tuna, a real tuna, not a solar tuna, but a Marine Master tuna. Until now, the tunas had a domed hardlex crystal, and they were like, they are really expensive, at least for me, you know, above 1,000 euros. And for that money, I was like, no, I'm not gonna spend over 1,000 euros and get a watch with a hardlex crystal. And now the new tunas, they have a flat sapphire crystal. And now I'm really interested. So the other reason I want to sell most of my watches is I need the money, because I want to get, so instead of having like 6 cheaper watches, I want to have a tuna, which costs yeah 1,500 euros, so 1,500 euros. It's really an expensive grey watch for me, and I'd rather sacrifice most of my, I'd rather sell most of my watch collection and get one expensive tuna than have 12 more affordable watches, because it's just too many, and yeah, just too many. Yeah, so that's the reason why I'm dramatically changing my collection. But yeah, so the watches I'm gonna keep. I mean, maybe there are some others which I'm going to sell with time, I mean after some time, but the 007 is going to stay, because this has a special status in my collection. This one is just, the SNE499 is just so fantastic. The loom is fantastic. It's got the double, I mean this area here, the red area is loomed on the bezel, and it's got the dual tone loom, which is a nice touch. Yeah, that's it. So, and my most favorite watch of all of these is actually, oops, the most favorite. So the Triton is just fantastically beautiful. The SKX007 is just so clean, so simple and beautiful in that way. The solar paddy tuna is just awesome, beautiful little watch, colorful. I like the colors. Now the bezel insert is plastic, and I wish it was aluminum, but it is what it is. The wave dial is beautiful. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.